navigate the world.
It's his true high school coming of age story, his journey embracing his blackness despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that no, this can happen in your own home and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
For the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa. They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I should overcome. What for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no channel for champions and chain no fear. Yup, the champ is here. Switch gears, we keeping haters in the rear.
2, 1. All right, what's going on, y'all? It is Common Sense. We're back in for another reaction video. We got the whole crew with us tonight, too. So I'm going to let you go and do your introductions.
Hey, this is Dre. I'm still not on social media. That is going to change soon. That is going to change soon. I'm going to make a new Instagram soon, so be on the lookout for my Instagram handle.
This nigga is a hermit.
He's a ghost. Off the grid. No, this is C. Julius Workout. Check me out on Instagram and YouTube.
All right, and you already know Anime Swag Fitness, Lifters on YouTube, Bigger Guy Fashion on Instagram as well. So we are going to get into a reaction video. So I don't know shit about this one. I ain't gonna front. So that's what's kind of like nice.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So we already know Colin Kaepernick, the nigga who sat down, or didn't get up.
Down? Yeah, you kneel down. I got you.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Well, no,
sat then kneel.
No, so this is true. This is true though. And at first, I ain't gonna lie, and I feel bad saying this though. I didn't know that Colin Kaepernick was black. So when the whole shit started, and then like when the whole shit started, I swore been down because his name is not black. Like, and not me trying to be mean, and he light skinned too. So I thought maybe he was like maybe Latino. I'd have pegged him maybe Middle Eastern. I couldn't, you know what I mean? Because every time you saw his hair, it was when he was playing this shit. So it was wet. So it looked like straight. You know what I mean? So I ain't really know. So when they first told me, like, oh, he was like taking a knee. And I'm like, damn, so we got some black friends or something like that? Or like, you know,
yeah, that's funny. Another YouTuber said the exact same thing.
I'm not even trying to be funny, bro. That's like,
I don't know you or not, you know.
Yeah,
so
like
I understand, like, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, I saw his parents. You know what I mean? And then it was like weeks in, but somebody told me he was adopted, and I was like, well, I'm like, what?
That deepens it even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't you say that? Like that's like some information.
And then being light skinned, you know, not talking from personal experience, it's kind of hard. You know, like everybody thinks you're white until they found out that you're not. They see your hair and then you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
right. Oh shit, I got you. Dog.
Like, you know, like we're trying, okay, we're trying, okay. Like we're trying to, like, and we do when we see it like him, we're like,
yeah. You start squinting and turn it sideways, and you just like, is he really a nigga?
Yeah, like I apologize. The first time I was in front of him, because I was pretty sure he was black, but I was like, just to be safe, I said he's not, because I said the N word, and I was like, oh my bad. And like he was like, you know, I'm black, right? I said, I thought you were. I said,
yeah, that's funny.
Which just to be safe, man. You know what I mean? You'll never know these things. So, yeah. But yeah. So yeah, Colin Kaepernick, right? He was kneeling during. What year was that? That was a minute ago too.
Yeah,
2013, 2014. It's more like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, 100% it has.
Yeah. But it was a while ago, right? He was taking a knee for, you know, all the injustice done to black people, police brutality, and shit like that. And white people was going crazy. They was mad. They was mad. I just can't believe it. You know what I mean? Like it was just, and it was funny too, because it was just like, you're disrespecting the troops, and I was just like, no, he not. We're good.
Thumbs up on this side, you know. Stand up for what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Shit's
good.
Racist. We don't stand for racist shit. So you know,
it's what it is, right? You know what I mean? But so that's what he did. He took a knee. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It is what it is too. Now, originally, he did sit during the Pledge of Allegiance, and then a Marine, not a retired Marine. He was like a disabled Marine who couldn't walk anymore. Then I'm not making a joke. He really couldn't walk anymore. I know that was like not the best transition from the sitting to the not walking.
Right.
But like in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I probably should spread that out. But so he couldn't walk. He was disabled, right? He came. He was like, hey, blah blah blah, and he really did. He listened, and they both heard each other out. So the Marine was like, after hearing Colin Kaepernick's like side, he was okay, cool. I understand and I respect it. He said, well, can you just do me a favor? He said, can you just take a knee? He said, because when most people, like especially like in military, if they're taking a knee, that's an act of defiance, right? As opposed to like just being lazy. Because when you're just sitting down, it just looks like you're being lazy, right? Even though history has America's got a history of sitting down when shit fucked up, like sitting at a white diner, sitting on the bus, you know what I mean? So, but he respected him, and he was like, cool, and he started taking a knee. So this a while ago, he couldn't get a job or whatever, ain't nobody want to, blah blah blah. He was being blackballed, and I ain't been keeping up with what he's been doing, but I know he had to deal with like Nike and shit and all of that. So apparently his book has a graphic novel too. So we're gonna see what's popping with this, all right?
Word.
Colin Kaepernick has got a powerful message for younger people in his new book. He says, stand up for what you believe in. Now, this comes almost 7 years after the former San Francisco 49ers quarterback started taking a knee during the national anthem to protest racial injustice and police brutality. His new young adult book is called Colin Kaepernick, Change the Game, details of his coming-of-age journey and his introduction to activism in high school. Adriana Diaz sat down with Kaepernick at a Chicago bookstore for his only TV interview about this book.
Please welcome Colin Kaepernick.
The offseason for Colin Kaepernick looks much different these days. The 35-year-old has a nonprofit.
You're already creating community.
Empowering Black and brown youth, a publishing company, and media projects, including a docuseries on Netflix and an upcoming documentary with director Spike Lee. He is also a new father who's spreading a message of empowerment in his new graphic novel, Change the Game, written with author and University of Chicago professor Eve L. Ewing.
I love how you depict yourself in this book, not as some big shot hero, but as a shy, insecure high schooler like we all were. I mean, I'm speaking for you, but
no, absolutely.
Growing up, I think still am a pretty introverted person. I hope it's true to form, and that's just kind of how I navigate the world.
It's his true high school coming-of-age story, his journey embracing his Blackness, despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home, and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his Blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick.
Just going to say this really quickly as far as idols go. I understand he's 35, but maybe that's where you could have done a bit better as far as idols go. Just saying. Yeah. Checked on him lately. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm not trying to laugh. I'm a bad.
This is the exact reason why I picked this topic. This is why it's interesting.
Just saying.
Nick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles? His mom asked.
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
your mom said that to you.
Yeah. And those become spaces where it's like, okay, how do I navigate this situation now? But it also is informed why I have my hair long today.
The grown-up version of Eve wanted to go back in time and give young Colin a lot of hugs. And I was really moved and saddened by the level of kind of self-awareness that he had to develop at a very young age.
This shit pissing me off, yo.
Why? What's up?
I was just so. Nigga, look at me. Look at me. Look, I still to this day, I wear these glasses to make white people feel comfortable. Because it softens my look. I had a white person say that to me before. And I was like 18, and I never forgot it. Fuck you talking about, bro. And I'm not saying it's not real or anything like that, but oh my God. It's like the end of the fucking world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
You know something I used to get pulled over when I was driving my Buick Park Avenue? I used to have cops follow me. They were just waiting on me. They were waiting on me to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Or pull me over coming from work, coming from Cannon with a Cannon shirt on. Where you coming from? Nigga, I don't fucking know. It's 2 minutes up the road, this big ass Cannon building, and I'm wearing a Cannon shirt. Where the fuck you think I'm coming from? This is when they say acting light skin, they talking about niggas like him.
Not a lot of guidance.
The former NFL quarterback who once led the 49ers to the Super Bowl was known in high school for his baseball. The pitcher even had major league interest, but he bucked public pressure and followed his heart to the gridiron.
There were a lot more black people in football that I was like, I found some community here.
Do you still want to play football professionally?
Absolutely. I woke up this morning before our events, trained.
Nobody wants your ass.
Still up at 4:30. I go get my training in. That passion is still there, and the ability is still there.
He hasn't played
No, it's
professionally
not.
since the
It's not, bruh.
2016-2017 season, when this single gesture sparked both solidarity and outrage.
Why did you choose that day and to protest in that way?
That's actually something we're going to dive deep into with the doc that's coming this fall. But as it relates to the book, people may look at that moment and be like, oh, you must have been this person all along. And it's like, no, there's growth that has to happen.
Will you continue to sit?
Yes.
Then Kaepernick couldn't get hired and even sued the NFL for collusion in a case that settled.
Are you talking to any teams?
We reach out to all 32 teams every year throughout the year because my biggest thing is just let me get on the field. If I'm not good enough, cut me. But give me the chance to show you what I can do.
In 2019, the NFL organized a workout for you in hopes of getting you hired. You chose not to go to their workout. You held your own workout. What do you say to people who argue that the NFL did give you a shot?
That's another great question that will be covered in the doc.
In 2020, what did it feel like for you
Say his name, George Floyd.
to see everyone almost wake up?
Another great question that will be covered later this year.
You know, and I just want to say this really quickly too about the whole. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I promise. Like, first of all, people keep forgetting, and I don't know why. While the NFL is widely watched throughout the entire United States of America, the NFL is a privately owned company. Okay, it is not funded by taxpayer dollars. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, people forget that. Like, it's a privately owned business. So, I mean, if they don't want to hire your black ass, they don't have to. Okay, and they can make up any excuse in the world, right, to make it legal. If they don't want you to play, you're not going to play.
That's fair.
There's nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
like their own
It'd be
personal-
different if it's federally owned or state owned, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's a private owned business, you know. So they have every right to reserve to like not hire you because, you know.
Yeah, and people don't understand that. Like, oh, like you know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to be mean and nothing like that. I'm like, Colin, he was all right, he had a good run and shit like that. I'm like, you really don't think there's a shortage of young black youth that want to make it out the hood, they can ball? Like, I ain't even trying to be mean when I say that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and then they put, and like, I do remember the camp thing, right? They did put on a workout for him and everything like that. And I'm sure he had his reasons for doing what he's doing. But when you do what you do, and even this is the biggest misunderstanding when it comes to like civil protests, okay? When you look at the greats, especially like Martin Luther King, right? He was avid about you protesting, right? And if you protesting and you were breaking a law specifically, that you like following and taking your punishment for breaking that law, though.
Yeah.
So it's not like you weren't aware of the consequences of these unjust laws, but
Yeah.
the consequences were still there. So it's like you're doing something that you believe in and you're passionate about. That's fine. But then you also got to be willing to take those and deal with those consequences too. Not sitting up here, yelling. And I'm saying that's not what he was doing, right? But I am saying that's the picture that's trying to be painted like around him. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't go for the workout. Cool. The NFL put it on for you, whether or not you felt like it was out of pity, whatever, right? That was your pride. That's on you, dog. That's on you. But you did that though.
You gotta learn to pick and choose your battles, right?
Yeah, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and let me add to this workout. First off, let me say I hate Colin Kaepernick. So
let
me add to this workout. This
I hate him, but
he moved the workout like I want to say if I remember correctly, it was like hours before, like 45 minutes, like without traffic across town in Atlanta. And if you've been to Atlanta, 45 minutes is more like 2-3 hours. Like he curated this narrative that they didn't really want to watch him, and then he moved this shit. He's always moving the goalposts. Like he's literally turned race into a business. It's bullshit.
He has,
kind of like the leader of like the BLM movement and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not throwing any digs, but like that's
nigga. I got
people do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got a whole shovel. Okay, what you talking about? Absolutely.
Colin, I got a lot of great questions.
I appreciate the thoughtfulness.
Documentary.
I won't speak for Colin, but I think that in thinking about what impact looks like,
I just want to point out that I seriously doubt that those are prescription glasses.
Like, it's so much bigger than changing one system or one league. What does it mean for all of us to be faced, as we invariably are, with really tough decisions about what it means to do good in the world? And how do we inspire one another to make different decisions when that time arises?
For their next chapters, Ewing is writing the next Black Panther comic.
I like real life superheroes and pretend superheroes.
Do you consider the man next to you a real life superhero?
The thing about superpowers is you got to keep them secret.
Part of the goal in telling the story is take pride in your Blackness, take pride in your culture. My hope is young people and readers walk away and they seize their power. When y'all are in that position, you have the opportunity to change things.
Kaepernick's story continues with his advocacy and trying to return to the NFL.
Colin, what is it like for you all these years later to be pushing and still not getting a yes?
Very similar to the messaging of the book is I don't have control over all of these situations, but I control how I respond to it. I control how I prepare for it. I'm a believer that in doing that, good things will happen.
For CBS Mornings, Adriana Diaz, Chicago.
Well, I certainly want to see the documentary because still there's.
All right, so let me ask y'all a question because this is the part of the discussion I think is interesting. How do y'all feel about the cornrow situation with his parents?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all do it first because I'm gonna have a lot to say.
I don't know if Allen Iverson. I don't know if Allen Iverson was like my choice as a role model, like growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to follow in his footsteps and getting cornrows and stuff like that. But that's just me personally. Like, I grew up light skinned, as well. So like, but I also grew up in a more diverse household than in my father being Black and stuff like that. And my father had cornrows, and it just was not a choice for me. And I had me as a light skin. I'm speaking from personal experience. I had personality disorder because no matter what my hair was, people viewed me as Black. People viewed me as white, and I had a hard time differentiating those things. So really, with this cornrow situation, it was just like, well, like you're not the only person. You're not the only light skin in the world that dealt with like racial side of things whenever it didn't matter. It didn't matter if my hair was short. It didn't matter if my hair is long like it is now. I remember my sister even trying to give me twists at some point in time. Like, it just didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me. So.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and go. So I think my opinion is probably kind of fucked up, but I'm going to just keep 100. So growing up for me, I always kept my hair like short as hell. Cause like for me growing up, I don't know about y'all, but usually if I saw a dude in cornrows, and like with the purple, blue, red do rag.
He was affiliated. He was affiliated. No, for real, he was affiliated.
Shit.
Yeah.
I'm just now again. I'm not saying you can't wear cornrows and not be a good citizen. I'm not saying that.
No, nobody's saying that.
But I guess my point, if his parents were like his biological parent would have said, "Hey, I don't want you wearing that because of X, Y, and Z," I don't think he would have been pushing that to market as like this is racism.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with wearing them. I have no problem with it. But of what I see, I ain't fucking. I'm just keeping short. Short
and simple. Nobody can interpret it wrong. Nobody can nobody can think that I'm associated with a certain type of group or anything like that. And it sucks that it has to be that way, but that's just the way the world is at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw people in the hood that I grew up in, and a majority had cornrows, they was wearing certain colors, and you know what I'm saying? Like I stayed away from that. I didn't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's still growing up with that very diverse household. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. This is some stupid shit, bro. I ain't even man. That's some stupid shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Like, I don't feel bad. I really don't. I don't feel bad for you. And the reason why I can say this with such certainty is because I have been around the world and back, man. Like, okay, cool. So let me get this straight. You were from the hood. You got adopted by a pretty, wealthy, or well, I ain't say wealthy, but like a pretty, probably the upper middle class, right? You know what I mean? Like white family. And you didn't have to go from poverty. And then the only thing that happened to you that seems to be really prevalent is that, you know what I mean? Like they made some, racially insensitive comments. So I went to a predominantly black high school from a lower class family, right? Who eventually worked their way up to a middle class family, single parent household for majority of my life. And I heard nothing but racially insensitive comments from my own people. I've been called every name in the book, bro. Like burnt, crispy, like Booker T.
I don't mean to laugh, but yeah. I think we can laugh because we've all shared the same pain. Like,
we know it's true.
Obviously, I haven't been called like a dark burnt motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's what I'm talking about, though, man. Like I don't know what people like, especially like niggas in America. Like, what do y'all want, bro?
Right.
Like, ain't nobody finna like. There's no law that somebody can pass to make them like your black ass. There's nothing. Even if they smile in your face, for real. Even if they smile in your face, like as soon as they behind closed doors, right? They talking shit about you. And I don't care if they black, white, yellow, brown, trans, 2 people, 3 people, whatever the fuck they identify as, right? People are not gonna like you sometimes, and you got to learn to vibe with that. I'm all for not tolerating disrespect. Make no mistake about that.
Right.
I'm all for that. Like, I'm all for motherfuckers getting chin checked. Like, I ain't got no problem with that. That's the problem.
Right.
People want society to like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, and we're gonna cancel culture. Like, no, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. How about that? Living them times, right? Back when we was coming up and somebody said something disrespectful, it was what it was. You do hands, right? And whoever won that fight, that's who was right.
Right.
It just was what it was, and that's not a black thing.
That's an everybody thing.
White people used to do the same thing.
Exactly. I think all cultures, all races, like, hey, I don't want to tolerate disrespect, and if you can't meet me with words, I'm gonna meet you with these hands.
Here we go. Not a big deal.
As long as it gets met with our hands and everything's good afterwards, I think we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying?
And let me make this very clear for the camera so that people don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that his parents were right for what they said to Colin, right? Nobody's disagreeing that it was very racially insensitive. And in all honesty, like if you adopted a black kid, you probably should have took some fucking like classes on like hair braiding or whatever. I'm just saying, like you wouldn't, right? Like you would buy a manual for like an Xbox or something.
Right.
You have a whole black child. Like you don't think that you might need some classes? They give him for free now. I mean, he's 35, but you know what I mean? So they probably didn't have it back then. But there was somebody around the block that like knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, he needs some cocoa butter, baby. Like, he a little ashy. Like, I know somebody said something to you. Like we laughing, but
But you're right. You're right. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like it is, and like it is what it is. And yes, should his parents have done that? Absolutely. But at the same time, how many of us had regular black parents who made a lot of motherfucking mistakes, and they were the same culture as us,
Right.
and we know that now that we're adults. And guess what? We still love them because guess what? They was doing the best that they could motherfucking do.
Right.
And at that time, they were doing the best that they can do too.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
People, this is exactly what the fuck people be talking about when you talk about motherfuckers being so damn sensitive. You need to learn how to deal with your motherfucking past, bro, and move the hell on.
Yeah, I agree.
Niggas selling a book.
We do project a lot of our past on like the present, you know what I mean? And nobody wants to take the time to work through it, and they blame their traumas and it makes it's everybody else's fault but mine. You know what I'm saying? And I hate when people take that narrative like we all in this shit together. So how do we support each other through this narrative? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yep. So are y'all gonna read the comic strip, the book? Y'all gonna read this shit?
Hey, as long as I wasn't the first one to say it, dog. Hey, you know, I support other light skins out there. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, I'm not gonna read that shit, bro. I'm gonna stick to my DC and Marvel comics, bro. I'm
Come on now.
Honestly, I'm just mad at Kaepernick because I didn't think of the shit. This dude is making
millions of dollars.
He probably made more money now.
Oh yeah.
Not playing football.
Yeah.
Than he did playing football.
Yeah, I would say so. Because even now, I looked him up. His net worth is still like $25 million. And the game played since 2015.
That's ridiculous. And he doesn't even play anymore.
He has not played since 2015.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
So at this point, it just seems like you milking it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you milking your light skin, you milking your race. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What did BLM do, and why? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how much was that mansion that they got? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
there was a couple of
they milking shit, bro. You know?
Yeah, they don't.
And I hate that because they could really be using that power, that money for something a little bit more positive. And even if he thinks he's doing something positive, it's still kind of like detrimental. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
If you're taking, people say what you want, right? Whether you are a black man, whether you're a white man, whether you're an Asian man, whatever. If you want to stay out of poverty specifically, right? Because you can't just change people's opinions, right?
Right.
Like black people. Even times I've met white people and I know exactly what they mean. And they start talking to me like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, okay. They're surprised that I'm like intelligent. That's what it is. I know that. I'm not gonna say anything because guess what? That's their stereotype. That's what they believe because of TV or whatever the fuck it is. But I'm also not gonna say that there's a short of a niggas who really is dumb as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's true, man. It's true.
You know what I'm saying? We just acting like we don't all know like 20 motherfuckers down the road right now, you know what I'm saying, that don't know the First Amendment. Like, I mean, I don't know why we acting like that. Like, you know, so it's like at the same time, like, how the fuck I'm really finna care if some white person from fucking, you know, Kansas doesn't know that like all black people don't all think the same because they never met no motherfucking body.
Right.
Yeah. Now, when you white and you live in a predominantly like urban or mixed area, you think no way. All right, cool. Now I'm like, yo, dude, like, bitch, you know damn well that we ain't all on the same page, like, you know. But no, I just can't vibe with that shit, bro. That shit is like mad annoying, yo, for real. Like you're like, what is the point? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Right. Open up some charter schools. Open up some technical schools, right? That's why I fuck with Chance so much. That's why I like because Chance put money back in the community. He buys books for the kids. He buys laptops for the kids. He's getting like job training for the kids in underdeveloped areas because you know that a lot of them are not going to be able to go to college. So he at least wants to get them like a trade or a skill so that way they can survive when they get out on their own. And you sitting
that way they don't have to repeat the same mistakes that the parents did, and that's all I would think we should be trying to like teach our children or like the newer generations. It's like don't make the same mistakes that we did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want you to follow, especially for gangbangers and people that grew up in more impoverished areas. You know what I'm saying? We don't make the same mistakes. We want you to be better than us. We brought you into this world. We don't owe you anything, but we want to bring the best to you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people have a narrative that they're trying to fit. People trying to swing certain agendas. You know what I'm saying, to make some more bread and say fuck everybody else.
Yep, it's the truth, and everybody know it too. They just
Yep.
don't want to. Can nobody? It's like they just like scared to say it. Like I'm like whatever.
It's a lot of money out there to go get. It's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah, and different avenues, so you don't have to use your race as a way to get money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like people,
I mean, yeah. Go
think
ahead, my
about
bad.
$20 million, right? People really don't understand how much money that is because we've gotten so used to like looking at celebrities and their lifestyles and how much money that they make into these like majors. Like $100,000 a year is a lot of fucking money. Is a lot of money, right? The average person makes $1 million in their entire lifetime. This motherfucker got $20 million. You can take $1 million out of that and just invest it. Invest it in coal. No, you know all about that shit too, and just invest it. You can live off the interest. You do some aggressive investing for the next 5 years, $1 million, bro. You good,
Right?
Yeah, you may not be Jay-Z good or whatever, right? But nigga, you ain't got to work. You can go play ball for XFL. Somebody
Who cares about being Jay-Z good? You know what I'm saying? Who cares about being Bill Gates good? You know what I'm saying? We are those niggas, man, on some real shit. We just trying to live life. Or did people forget what life is about? Or they just go get so absorbed in money and fucking race and all these other fucking things that they don't want to go experience new things and cultures and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
When you die, you can't take it with you.
Yeah. Right. Right.
It don't make sense.
It don't.
I'm annoyed.
Shenanigans.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, this is some light skin behavior right here. Yeah.
Hey, he don't speak for all light skins, bro.
I'm just saying.
Behavior.
I'm just saying, you know.
No, that's modern behavior.
Yeah.
What?
That's modern behavior.
Bro, who you talking about, bro? Like this shit crazy. They just eating this shit up too. Like
they love it. They love
it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if I just just do this and then I won't, like, my feelings won't be hurt, and you know what I mean? And then I'm like, nigga, you still need a job. The fuck is you talking about, bro? Like,
I'll tell you one thing, all that diversity shit is it's cool and all until the economy starts tanking and start cutting jobs.
You need a job. You need a skill.
I don't give a shit what color you are. Is what job, what problems do you solve?
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't see me solving problems, you're gonna get cut. So
yeah, shit. Just move to a new neighborhood. You know, like that's what I did. Shit, like be like the fuck. Like, yeah, absolutely. I got black, white, yellow, all in my neighborhood. Shit, and everybody got guns. Shit.
Yeah, I just got white people, but I don't have these problems.
Yeah, nah,
don't deal with these issues.
Nah, I'm a little bit too black for that. I think I'd be them. They be clutching their purpose to see my big ass walk out. Yeah, they be like, you?
Well, you've been in my house, and it's so far from the damn street you can't even see us anyways.
I would be scared to live in a house as big as yours. I ain't even gonna front because I just feel like the cops would just come by every hour.
I did see a cop the other week though.
Yeah, I bet somebody called.
It's safe. You ain't gotta worry about it.
That was like he was talking. It was cool.
Yeah, let me walk about that motherfucker. You live here. You live here.
Let me see your credit score.
Oh, Lord.
It's going to be met with one of two things: either just straight up just disbelief, or just like me, just like or having like, all right, so what do you you play ball? What do you like, you know what I'm saying? You big guy, you play ball. Is that what it is? Like you rap. You rap. Okay, that's what it is. You're a rapper.
You selling that shit?
It's funny you said that because apparently, like around the corner, there's like some bigger homes and there's a couple of like baseball players that live there. So that
No, I want a mixed neighborhood. I don't ever want to be the only black person in the block.
Yeah.
Because then as soon as somebody start breaking in, they automatically come to your house first. And we joke about this shit. J. Cole, remember he put that shit on, what album was that? It was the KLD album or whatever. Like J. Cole is a world-renowned rapper. And
Right.
they literally something happened in his neighborhood. Something happened in his neighborhood, and they was breaking the house or whatever, right? Then they started interviewing people in the neighborhood, and a couple of people they just didn't know what he did for a living, right? So they thought he was selling drugs. Yeah, like during one of his live performances. It was. He said the neighbors think I'm selling dope. That shit was true. And during his live performance, he had video camera footage from his house of the cops performing an illegal search on his house.
Wow.
Yeah, they had no probable cause whatsoever to search his house.
That's a real shenanigans right there.
And then the cops realized that, and then they took like a broom to try to like turn the camera, right? Like these dumbasses. And the funniest thing was that the camera that he turned, there was another camera pointed at him watching as he turned that camera. So then, so then they had evidence of him tampering with the fucking cameras.
Dang. Yeah, that makes me wonder. It makes me wonder. I wonder what my neighbors think I do for work since I work from home.
Just saying. Well, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but you definitely still like you're like okay, like when you have that like.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have this. Like, it's not the same thing as you, obviously.
Yeah.
I do wonder though.
You have the like, okay, like like when white people say I have a black friend vibe. You know what I mean? Like that's like that's you. Like it's you.
It's funny because I always tell them I'm in tech, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, it makes sense." They don't openly say that, but they don't ever question it either. It's just like they're not surprised by that.
Black guy in tech, that clicks. You know,
you look like it, sir. You look like it. I mean, it kind of fits me too. Like, oh, what is
it? It's the glasses. It's the glasses.
Remember, it's the glasses. Honestly, it's really just the glasses. If you just the glasses,
I'd be fine. That
really is it.
I need to invest into a pair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you, the glasses help me all the time. Like what? Like
the glasses.
See, look, you know what I'm saying? Like
all this guy's white. All this guy's. Oh, who are you? Get out of my neighborhood.
Not stopped by the cops. You see what I'm saying? Right now. I'm telling you right now.
Liberal studious.
He said, well, I told you. That's all I do. I mean, I actually use a prescription. I mean, so, but at the same time, though, I ain't gonna lie. I wear my life. Like, I wear them to church like all the time. It's a predominantly white church. So, but they're cool. But yeah, so before we get canceled, we'll go ahead and cut this conversation short. But yeah, this is a dope reaction video. Like I said, we can keep them churning out. Maybe we can get Drake back on here again. And yeah.
Social media will be back up soon, for sure.
You said what? Social media will be back up?
Yeah, social media will be back up soon.
I'm
done procrastinating. I'm done with my cleanse. It'll happen soon.
And comment, like, and subscribe to the video.
There we go. Yep, and this is Common Sense, and we are out. Peace.